Hey everyone, it's Brooke and I'm here today to talk about my spring TBR. So I don't do traditional monthly TBRs, but I did really enjoy doing a fall TBR back in 2015 because it allowed me to pull some of those books I have really been wanting to read off of the sort of neglected parts of my shelves, put them out so that I constantly see them and I can pick them up off and on throughout the season, but I don't have to strictly adhere to reading just those books. So I have picked 8 books to get to over the next 3 months. So let's just take a look. The first book that I want to get to is Margaret Atwood's Oryx Crake. This is the first in her Mad Adam trilogy. And similarly, the second book I want to read is The Year of the Flood. And this is basically a post-apocalyptic world. And Margaret Atwood's take on that. So I look forward to reading this quite a lot. I've had these books on my shelves for years. I think I got both of these for $1 at the Borders going out of business sale, and that was years ago at this point. So I think I'm going to be doing a buddy read of the second book, so I need to get on the first book as soon as possible. The next book I really want to get to before the movie comes out this fall is Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. Long title, yes, but Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk by Ben Fountain. This is a National Book Award finalist. It got a lot of acclaim when it came out. I think it follows it's about the Iraq War, kind of the aftermath. This group of soldiers has come back to the U.S. and they're on this sort of media train trying to spark up, support for this war in the Middle East. And as part of their nationwide tour, they are going to be part of a halftime show for the Dallas Cowboys. And Billy Lynn, who I guess is the leader, he is kind of like a day in his life surrounded by these really wealthy, the Cowboys owners and his coterie of wealthy colleagues, a born-again Cowboys cheerleader, a veteran Hollywood producer, and supersized players eager for a vicarious taste of war. So I think it sounds almost like satire, just, putting his experience of war against these people who kind of just are rich and want to play at war. So I think this will be a really interesting read. Another book I've had on my shelves for ages, that is The Darkest Child by Delores Phillips. This is about a girl who is born with very dark skin, and her mother, I think, pretty much treats her pretty shitty because of that, in comparison to, I think, a lighter skinned child. And this is just about growing up in rural Georgia in the 1950s, and yeah, prejudice and things of that nature. And I've heard it's quite a really excellent character study. I know Mercedes really likes it, so very much looking forward to this. I always like books that take place in Georgia. Then I want to get around to Skippy Dies by Paul Murray. This is about, I think, a boy named Skippy who dies, and it's sort of like this, I think, darkly comedic tale of what happens after he dies, and I think he dies at school, so it's just all his friends and mystery. He ends up dead on the floor of a local donut shop. Yeah. And so why Skippy dies and what happens next is the subject of this dazzling and uproarious novel, unraveling a mystery that links the boys of Seabrook College to their parents and teachers in ways nobody could have imagined. I've heard really good things. It's quite a little chunky monkey, but I want to read it sooner rather than later, so it's on the TBR. I also really want to get to The Sun by Philipp Meyer. I bought this as soon as it came out and was really excited to read it, and then never did. A lot of book bloggers I loved at the time really loved this book, so I need to get to it. I think it's pretty much a family saga. It takes place in Texas, so very westerny, desert Texas, cowboys, ranches, spring 1849. So it's a part epic of Texas, part classic coming-of-age story, part unflinching portrait of the bloody price of power. The Sun is an utterly transporting novel that maps the legacy of violence in the American West through the lives of the McCulloughs, an ambitious family as resilient and dangerous as the land they claim. So, it's blurred by Karen Russell and Taylor Breck, so it's on the list. We're gonna do it. In addition, I would like to get to Joe Baker's Longbourn. This is a book that is sort of like Pride and Prejudice spin-off fanfic, but I've heard great things. It focuses on the servants of the Bennett household. So, you know, all the people who have to clean up after Lizzie and Jane and the girls. Is a perspective that we've never gotten to see, and I really look forward to it. I've heard nothing but good things, and I've also had this for forever. So, time to get it read. Finally, because I bought his newest collection of short stories without having read his novel, even though I've had his novel since it came out. That is Anthony Marra's A Constellation of Vital Phenomena. It takes place in Russia. A resilient doctor risks everything to save the life of a hunted child in this majestic debut about love, loss, and the unexpected ties that bind us together. I don't know anyone who didn't love this when they read it, so I'm going to read this and then hopefully get to his newest collection. So, yes, this is the final book. I'm really excited for all of them. So over the next few months, I'll just pick them up here and there and hopefully get through almost all of them. My fall TBR, I got through I think all but 2 of the books I had selected. So it works for me. So I'm going to do it again, and I will update you on my progress. Bye guys.